Compact sedans are a dying breed, but that hasn't stopped some brands from releasing all new models. This is the MG GT. So what's it like to drive the all-new MG GT? Well, let's get the good things out of the way first. Ride comfort. While it's not the most comfortable in the segment, you really can't complain here. Potholes, road imperfections, bumps, things like that. This car kind of just takes it in stride. You never find yourself really uncomfortable here inside the cabin. Then the steering. It's light, but it's not too light. It provides you enough feedback when you need it, but at the same time, it's not hard to maneuver. It's easy to handle. It ticks all the right boxes. Now, how about the driving dynamics? This base variant runs on a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated gasoline engine that puts out 111 horsepower and 150 Newton meters of torque. When you're cruising around the city, the pickup is fine. It gets the speed when you need it. It's all good there on that front. But once you reach the highway, the CVT takes its sweet time delivering all those horses, all that torque to the front wheels. And as a result, if you have to do a quick overtake or you just really need to pick up speed quickly, you find yourself a little lacking. I'll do a quick demonstration here. So clear in front of me, I'm going to bury my foot. My foot's touching the floor. Yeah, it takes a while. Okay, so let's check out the interior. Up here you have a sizable touchscreen infotainment display. Underneath are some physical buttons. However, I do have to point out one thing. The aircon can only be adjusted via the touchscreen. Now, how do you do that? You press this tab here for the aircon controls, and then you slide along here to adjust the fan speed and the temperature. Now, I know there are some budget reasons and some logistical reasons to putting aircon controls in the touchscreen, but it really isn't convenient. It's not intuitive, and it's quite difficult to adjust, especially when you're the one driving the car. You're basically looking at a screen while you're driving, and you know, when you're texting while you're driving, that's considered very dangerous, right? But you're basically doing the same thing here. Underneath here, sizable storage ports. You got a nice, easy to grip shifter here, electronic parking brake, auto hold function, great thing to have in traffic. And then along here you have a plastic dashboard here with some glossy material here. I'll give it that. It is a nice looking interior, nice contrast of colors here. Sort of a darker shade of gray, some silver and some black. You get a sort of a flat bottom steering wheel here. There is a cruise control stalk that's placed here underneath the signal stalk, and it's kind of an inconvenient place. You can accidentally knock it if you're trying to change lanes or make a turn and you're putting on signal. Speaking of the steering wheel, the adjustment here can be made height-wise, but not telescopically. That results in a problem, at least for me. What ends up happening for me, for my 5'5" frame, is that I have to sit closer than I would normally do just to reach the steering wheel. What happens is I end up putting a little too much force on the brakes, and now the brakes here do come on quite rapidly. So the first few times I drove this, I actually found myself lurching forward a lot because I was putting on just a bit too much pressure. Oh, and lastly, here up front you get a sunroof. The blind comes on manually, but it is electronically adjustable. Okay, let's check out the back seat. I'm about 5'5", 150, 155 pounds, and the room here is pretty good. I think you could fit 3 of me here reasonably comfortably. There's no armrest, however, so I do have to point that out. So if there are 2 of you, there's nowhere to rest your arms, but you know, minor sacrifice, I guess. Amenities here include a dedicated aircon vent and a USB port. Headroom wise, here I have about 2 inches of clearance there, not so bad. Legroom could be a bit of a tight fit for taller passengers, but for me personally here it's not so bad. I'm pretty comfortable. Let's take a look at the design. True to its name, the GT has some classy, elegant elements, but at the same time it has some hip, trendy parts to it as well. Classy elements include this overall curved shape, these wraparound rear taillights here, very, very GT. But as we move on here to the front, you're met with lots of sharp lines, sharp edges, and a very, very circa 2023 massive grille here with some faux carbon fiber down the bottom for good measure. It's a bit of a dynamic mix, but it's a mix that works very well. You have your elegant and you have your sporty as well. Let's talk pricing. This MG GT Alpha variant retails for 1,015,888 pesos. The top spec sport variant which comes with a 1.5-liter turbo engine, retails for 1,193,888 pesos. But before we give our final score, let's discuss the pros and cons of the MG GT. First, the design. This is, by most measures, at least by me, a good-looking car. This is one that's bound to appeal to a wide variety of ages and tastes. Next, the handling. Unlike other compact sedans that have sway and lots of body roll, this stays true to its name and manages to stay planted and close to the ground through turns and lane changes. Now for the cons. Power delivery. Yes, this is a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine, so you can't really ask for much. But the CVT's delay in delivering power to the front wheels is quite noticeable and dampens the entire driving experience. Next, the interior controls. Yes, there is some logic to putting the aircon controls inside the touchscreen, but in reality, it makes it very hard to operate. There is a little lag there with the system as well, and overall, it just is not a convenient thing. Last, the driving position. Yes, believe it or not, there are still some cars that don't have telescopic adjustment in 2023. In this case, at least for my frame, it ruins the driving experience along with the power delivery. I end up putting way too much force onto the brake pedal because I have to sit so close just to be able to reach the steering wheel. So what's our final score? We give the MG GT Alpha 7.5 out of 10. While its power delivery and interior controls do bring down the score quite a bit, its design and driving dynamics are certainly admirable.